Nothing beats the flavor of a large, juicy steak. There is always a cut of steak that is appropriate for any event. There's a roast beef with French fries for a more relaxed family dinner, or the five-star ribeye served with Italian wine and shallot roasted red-skinned potatoes for a more upscale meal. Steak is a popular source of protein among people who eat meat, and when prepared correctly, it may have a buttery tenderness that surpasses that of any other sort of fowl or fish. This preference holds true regardless of the occasion. That is why today we are going to explore some of the most famous and best known cuts of steak that a lot of people truly enjoy. Welcome to Lux Live, and when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. But before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Now, let's begin. Number 10. Flank. One of the most loved cuts of beef is the flank steak. It comes from the cow's belly, between the sirloin and the loin. It's a slice of lean meat without much fat, so you won't have to spend much time cutting off the fat. The flank is very tasty, and a good marinade will make the meat taste even better. If you want to spice up your dishes, marinades work well on flanks, so you can experiment with many flavors. Number 9. New York Strip. This cut comes from a part of the short loin, is usually heavily marbled, and contains huge chunks of fat. Strip steaks from New York are typically rectangular in shape with slender ends. They are visually appealing on a platter because of their uniform shapes. A New York strip steak's beef flavor is substantially stronger than a ribeye's. High heat is the best when preparing this cut of beef. Broiling, pan frying, and grilling are the best cooking techniques. Number 8. Skirt. When referring to a skirt, amateur chefs frequently refer to this piece of beef as a flank. These two beef cuts are comparable, although there are noticeable differences between them. The skirt is made from the diaphragm muscles of a cow. The steak is a long, thin slice of beef with visible muscular fibers running across its breast. They take particularly well to marinades, so you may experiment with various flavor combinations. Number 7. Rib eye. This cut is taken from the eye or center of the rib part of the cow. Typically, it contains a significant amount of marbling, the fat located between the muscle fibers. Although this steak cut tends to have a moderate flavor, it has a distinct buttery flavor. When cooking ribeye steaks, it is not bad to cook them for a little longer due to its high fat content. Unlike less tender cuts, ribeye can be cooked slightly past medium. Number 6. Prime rib. You should be aware that some cuts have complicated names. A good example would be the ribeye and prime rib. Both steak cuts originate from the cow's rib section, but the prime rib is larger. It typically contains large portions of the rib bone. It tends to have more flavor than ribeye due to the additional bones, fat, and tissue. This cut cooks well at a low temperature for a long time. What's your favorite steak cut, and how do you prefer to enjoy it? Let us know in the comments below. Number 5. Tenderloin. One of the most expensive cuts of beef is tenderloin. This characteristic arises from a long pencil-shaped muscle positioned towards the base of the short loin. This steak's limited flavor profile isn't really preferred by many people. However, some still enjoy it because of its buttery flavor. The easiest method to cook a large cut of meat like this is to sear the outside first. After that, finish cooking them in an oven set to low and even heat. Number 4. Sirloin. Sirloin steak is cut from the upper flank area of the cow, just below the tenderloin strip. The steak is a bit on the chewy side because it comes from a very muscular part. Despite having a low amount of fat, top sirloin steak is full of taste and will be the highlight of any dinner you prepare. This steak cut is at its most soft and flavorful when cooked to medium rare on the doneness scale. Number 3. Porterhouse. The Porterhouse steak is a juicy New York strip and a sizable filet mignon sandwiched together. The grilling potential of this cut is outstanding, but even though a porterhouse steak is best when grilled, you may also prepare it in other ways, such as pan fry, a boil, or a sauté. It could take some practice to master cooking porterhouse steaks. Tbone steaks are notoriously difficult to cook well, but once you've mastered the art, you can easily apply what you learned to a porterhouse. Number 2. Tbone. The Tbone is one of the most well-known steak cuts. It looks a lot like a porterhouse cut, but the tenderloin side of the Tbone steak is much thinner. The T-shaped bone is more of an American thing according to the Spruce Eats, while the porterhouse steak is more of a British Commonwealth thing. This steak cut gives you the best of both worlds. It has the flavor of a strip steak and the tenderness of a tenderloin. Number 1. Filet mignon. The filet mignon is a part of the cow's back that is very tender, though it isn't as tasty because it doesn't have a bone. But that doesn't mean you can't make it taste better yourself. Chefs love wrapping this piece of meat in bacon or adding their favorite spices and sauces to it. This cut is very tender because it comes from a muscle that isn't used often. This lets the filet mignon melt in your mouth because there aren't many tendons and ligaments. Steak is a flexible dish. It is simple enough to prepare on a weeknight. However, it is also savory and tasty enough for a more formal setting. Perhaps no other cuisine has such a wide quality gap between its finest and worst examples as steak. While the greatest can brighten your day, the poorest can completely wreck it. And there are plenty of ways to mess up a steak: overcooking, undercooking, cutting into it too quickly, and starting with the wrong cut of beef. Hopefully, this guide should have helped you better understand the many types of cuts available and the selection process. We understand that it can be difficult to make a decision among so many delicious steaks. Steaks come in a wide variety of thicknesses, cooking temperatures, and types, but you can rest assured that the majority of cooking methods will work well for any of these. The best way to cook a steak is to practice cooking steaks in various ways. With these tips and ideas in mind, and your newfound knowledge about the finest steaks for cooking, your next meal will rival even the finest restaurants. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates on our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lux Live. See you!